An important component of using Reflect is to just type notes into it. And that's easy. This is Reflect. I go there and I can type a note directly here. Now, what happens though is that many times when I want to type a note, I am not actually in Reflect, and switching apps can be annoying. What I've done is that I set up Alfred workflow. Alfred is a little app that allows to open quickly a toolbar where I can type just an R and say, this is a note coming from Alfred, and just hit enter. An alternative to Alfred is Raycast, if you prefer that one. There's probably others, but I am familiar with those two. And so what happens there is that the way it's set up, Alfred will take the note I typed to call what's called a webhook in Zapier, meaning it calls a URL and passes the note as a parameter. Zapier, which is a tool to connect apps, will receive that and then will send it to Reflect. Zapier is authenticated with my Reflect, and you see the note has appeared there. For simple notes, that's just perfect. It works really well. I have another way to do it. I can do it in Telegram because I use Telegram a lot to communicate with family and friends. And so on my phone particularly, it's practical. I can send a note from Telegram, which is going to follow exactly the same system. Telegram is going to, this is a bot I created in Telegram. It calls this a similar webhook, and then through Zapier, the note goes again into Reflect. For something slightly more sophisticated, I like to use a technique called interstitial journaling, which is not really full. It's more about recording along the day salient events, moments, thoughts that I can attach a sentiment to, positive, negative, or neutral. And I want those in Reflect too. I want also those to be added to my daily note, but with a few little tweaks. So let's say that something is just happening now, where I say, I am recording a video about Reflect. Now this for me is a positive thing because I'm not used to it. It's new. I like doing new things. So I just added this plus at the end. You might notice I put a pipe before the plus. That is just for me to know that when I use plus in a sentence, it's not going to be recognized as a sentiment. It's only pipe plus. And what you can see here is that two things happen. First, the note has been timed. There is the timestamp of the moment I wrote it. It's 7:03 p.m. local time here. Then it has been added in a subsection that is called journal. Those notes will all be grouped into the journal, which allows me to look at them all together. And then it has been tagged with that little plus at the end. Now I can do same thing here. Another entry, this time neutral, and this time I will use equal instead of plus. And when something annoying happens, I can also say this one was an annoying one. And this time, of course, I will use the minus. Those notes are again timed and then sent to Reflect with those little tags, plus, equal, and minus. Of course, because I mentioned that I do the same thing from Telegram, I can completely do the same thing in Telegram where a neutral entry from Telegram, same code, I just put pipe equal for neutral, and then a positive one, pipe plus. Oh, there's a typo here, let's fix it. I could fix it later, but and then something troubling. Not easy to record and type at the same time, I apologize. And this one has the minus. And so now going back to Reflect, I see that the same principle has been applied to those. So what you can see is that they're all in the journal. So if I click on journal, now this opens the journal. Journal is an empty node, there's nothing in it. But what's interesting is that Reflect at the bottom of each note puts all the entries that link to it. And so my Saturday 14th of September has a link to journal, so this is going to be here. And what's inside the journal section will be listed. So now here, day after day, when I go to the journal, the note itself might be empty, but it's going to have the list of all the entries I made day after day. But also, I can go back here and say, I want to see only the positive ones. I just click on the little plus. That's also an empty note that will have all the positive notes dated. And of course, it goes without saying that the same can be done for the neutral ones and for the negative ones. So this is very useful because when I want to do a weekly, monthly, or yearly review, I can go and select all the positive, neutral, and negative entries, and that allows me to think about what I could change to improve, what I should keep doing, and so on and so forth.